What's going on, YouTube? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day today. As you guys know, we are back with another video for our live weekly breakdown analysis as to what I'm looking for in the coming week of February 6th through February 11th. As you guys know, I always post these type of videos every single week where I give you guys just a general idea and understanding of how I see the markets and where I potentially see the markets going. This is not financial advice by any means necessary. This is just me showing you guys something that I'm looking at, and whether you want to take the risk or not to take the trade, that is completely up to you. But if you guys want to see more of this type of content, be sure to subscribe down below, and also be sure to drop a thumbs up if this video did help y'all in any way, shape, or form. But with all that being said and done, we are going to be analyzing my top 4 pairs for the entire week, and we're just going to go ahead and just start off with gold and what it has done. Right now, this big move right here was the NFP news, and gold absolutely tanked about almost 200 pips to the downside before recovering all the way back up to where the news even commenced. Now, what am I looking for in terms of gold? Just like with any other pair, let's go ahead and just do a live analysis, a top-down analysis as to where price is at right now. So currently, price is at a very strong level of resistance. But looking at these daily candlesticks right now, price continuously just kept closing higher and higher and higher, as you can see right here. We had this little bit of a tweezer bottom right here, and we closed up above. And actually, let me change the colors of these candlesticks because I feel I'm the only weirdo who trades with blackout candlesticks whenever I'm in the zone. But looking into these candlesticks right now, you can see that price is struggling to basically, it was getting a lot of wickets to the top side, but we continue to close higher and higher every single day, aside from this day right here. And then this one, we closed above that general structure. So what am I trying to say here? Looking into the 4-hour time frame, it looks like we are riding this trend line right here. We have our A tap, we have our B tap, we have our C tap, and look, notice how this candlestick did not close below our trend line. So it's continuing up, and then price literally got pushed down by the news, and price came back up and closed not only just above our trend line, but it also closed above this structural level of resistance, now acting as some sort of support. So now that price is back up above this minor level right here, I'm looking for buys all the way up to my next level of my weekly level of 1826 because of the fact that price did close above this general structural area. Because if I wanted to really take sells and anticipate sells on gold, I would ideally want to see price literally give me some sort of a breakdown below here, a retest right here, and then continuation back down. But since we did close not only just above the structural level, but also above our trend line, I will only be looking for buys because of that. Now, if you want to be a little bit more passive, because taking buys right now where price is at, as soon as market opens or if it consolidates a little bit, then these are pretty aggressive, right? If you want to have a little bit more passive buys, you want to wait for price to break above this structural level right here, come back and give you a retest of previous support, previous resistance, to then hold as some sort of support again. So then you can go ahead and try to take a swing all the way up to the 1826 area. But until then, it just depends on the type of trader that you are. If you are aggressive, you could definitely take a buy position on some sort of a minor retracement on the lower time frames, and obviously if price allows you to. But once price breaks down below here, this is whenever I try to take short positions, so something like this. But anything above this general area, I'm definitely going to be looking for buys for the coming week. Now let's go ahead and look at another pair. Gold, fairly simple rundown. Let's go ahead and do GBPAUD. In terms of GBPAUD, I'm continuously wanting to swing this pair. If you guys remember my last week breakdown analysis, I wanted price to hold this structural level as some sort of a support, and it did exactly that. As you guys know, I did call out the signal in my signal room, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now. We absolutely slaughtered this week in the signal room, catching almost about 500 pips. Just in the signal room alone. We caught these buys on gold right before the NFP news. Price literally just completely ripped up to the moon. Scrolling back up over here, you can see we took some more buys over there. We took the GA buys, we took scaling entries, all of that stuff, and we just completely flew. We had 5 trades this week. We had 4 wins and just 1 loss. I think I need to update this, but aside from that, as you guys can see, we have about 580 plus pips to finish off the week, about 10%, almost 10% in just trades alone. I'm still holding this GBPAUD trade, as you guys know. But anyways, now let's go ahead and just do the breakdown. So on terms of where I see GBPAUD going right now, I can see price coming back down to my TP2 level and retesting this level of resistance to hold it as a support, so then continue back up to my overall target of my 1.92 area. But if it doesn't, I'm definitely expecting price to come all the way back up here, take out all the buyers within this general area, and potentially sell off, because it would complete this entire trend line break right here. Because as you guys know, typically whenever price breaks out of a trend line, it goes all the way back up to the very first A tap of the trend line. You want to target on the trend line break as C, then B, then A, right? That's how it typically is. So now we are going just for the A target. As soon as price touches my A target, I'm going to look for some sort of a struggle, some sort of a rejection to take price short, because of the fact that if you look back at previous history and I line up with my TP4, you can see you got strong resistance right here. You got strong resistance right here. You have some sort of support right here. You have resistance right around this general area right there, so on and so forth, right? And you have more resistance right there. And typically whenever price gets to that level, it tends to sell off. Now, looking into our daily, we're already getting exhaustion wicks. I'm expecting price to just fill in just a little bit more, just because of the fact that we did hold this structural level as a support, and obviously we're just continuing on with the uptrend. The daily did close higher than the previous day, and the previous day closed higher than the previous day before that day, right? So I'm definitely expecting an anticipation on buys. If you guys want to get in on an entry on this, I can definitely see price coming down to this general area, like I said, giving you a break and retest. And if I were to basically fib this entry from swing low to my swing high point right here, we line up with our golden Fibonacci zone of my 38% extension and my 50% extension to all the way back up to these highs right here. And like I said, my overall target would be my 0.92 area, just because it is around psychological level. But that is GBPAUD. Definitely bullish on GBP. Looking into GJ, I am the same way. Looking into the daily time frame, we were struggling to close above this general area. You can see we have a lot of wickage, but price continuously just kept on pushing up above this general zone until we basically closed above. So what am I looking for right now on GJ? I want GJ to give me a little bit more of a bigger retracement back down to here, to this ideal general area, because of the fact that if you look back at previous history, what do you see price doing? It's some sort of a break and retest zone of previous resistance to then act as some sort of support to then take it back up to the top side of these initial highs right here. And not only that, but if you were to look at price, it did create a higher low from this point on, right? You can see price basically came down on this downtrend, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, and then came back up over here. We did close below this general high right here. So you can anticipate this being as some sort of a lower high. If you count this as a lower high, lower low, lower high, but look at what price did right here. We closed and made a new higher low. So you can see this could potentially be the start to a new trend. You got the high, you got the higher low. Now you can get in on some sort of a lower high on the lower time frames to then continuously come all the way back up here and potentially make the new higher high, right? So it's all in all bullish for me. I really only want to take buys on GJ, especially if it gets to this general area of 1.5500. If it does not get to that general point, I'd want to ideally wait for price to break some sort of resistance on the lower time frames, give me some sort of a retest to then continue back up. But I can definitely see price coming back down into this general zone right here. So definitely bullish on GJ, all the way back up to my weekly level. Now, in terms of GU, I am the exact same way. I am very much so bullish on GU, because if you look at the fact that what price was doing beforehand, it was in a solid downtrend all the way up until this point, just like with GJ. We got the higher high, or we got the lower high, we got the lower low, we got the lower high, we got the lower low, we got the lower high, and now look at what price is doing. It failed to create that new lower low, and we created a higher low instead. So now I'm going to get rid of these little markups right here and start creating some sort of a switch in trend. We got the higher low, and now all we're getting in on is a lower high to then target all the way back up to these highs right here. And not only that, but notice how price is coming back down and retesting my psychological level of 1.35,000. Now let me go ahead and mark up my next psychological level of 1.37500. And notice how price just typically ping pongs right off of these levels. You can see price is literally holding this as a very strong level of resistance and support, and as soon as it taps it, it melts. What does price do as soon as it gets to this area? It literally flies. It flies just a little bit, right? So I'm expecting the exact same thing, especially because of the fact that we did close and create a new higher low. Looking into the 4-hour time frame, this is very much so a very easy fib extension tool. Whenever the time is right, you swing low to swing high, and notice we are now in the golden zone of trying to take a long position, right? So with that being said, all I'm waiting for is for some sort of a consolidation, some sort of a break of this consolidation zone to then take price long all the way to my 27% extension, and my overall targets would be right around this 37,500 area right here. But that is basically my entire analysis. Fairly simple, fairly easy. If you guys have any questions at all, please be sure to join in the Discord down below that I have linked and ask me questions in there, at me in there, shoot me a message, whatever. I'd like to help you guys out the best way that I can whenever it comes to these charts. If you guys also want to join and be a part of the signal room, definitely check out the link down below where I send out all signals to every single trade setup that I take. And not only that, but I send why I take the trade. As you guys can see, I literally just sent pictures on this one. I think that was the only one that I didn't do the analysis on, but aside from that, I typically do my weekly outlook video on this as well, do my breakdowns as to why I'm taking this trade. So you're not just receiving signals, but you're literally learning while you're earning by just taking the signals, right? So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video and did get some value off of it. And if you did, be sure to drop a like down for me down below. And if not, it's completely fine. But aside from that, if you want to see more of this type of content, definitely subscribe down below. And I think that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate you guys for watching and sticking around. Peace.